I've been to quite a few states in my time being alive, and I feel like I can accurately rate every single one of them. So that's what we're gonna do. Starting off with Alabama. Alabama has the first Buc-ee's that I've went to, and that's about it that I can remember. I did have a very not good experience in Birmingham, but that wasn't my fault, and that's not the state of Alabama's fault. Just had one of those like window cleaning scams. Or stopped getting gas there. So Alabama's going to B tier because B for Buc-ee's feels right. Alaska, you're going in C tier because you are cold and there's not a lot there. So I'm going kind of just based off of temperature. I feel like there's something else going on in Alaska, but it's C tier. That's kind of where you belong. Same thing with Arizona. Don't know a whole lot about you. Just that it's hot. I would put you in B tier for Fallout New Vegas, but not enough if that game takes place in Arizona. Arkansas. I genuinely do not know a single thing about Arkansas. I know it's not like the worst state because Mississippi exists. So Arkansas, I'm gonna put you in D tier because it's passing. You exist. I don't think your state flag's that bad if I'm remembering the correct state flag. No, I'm thinking of Tennessee. Yeah, you're going to D tier. I can't say anything bad about you. I know one person from Arkansas. Yeah, that's where you're staying. California, you have Los Angeles and San Francisco, as well as, I assume, some other cities. But because Mythbusters takes place in San Francisco, that's going to be A tier. Also, Alcatraz is in California. Helps create the best Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies map. So you're gonna get A tier. You're gonna get A tier. You belong there. That's where you belong. Is in A tier, not S. Definitely not S. But A tier's okay. Colorado. I wanted to get stationed in Colorado, and I never did. So you could have been an A tier, because I feel like I really like a lot of the things that Colorado does, but I never went there. So you're going in... I want to put you in B tier, but I haven't had enough experiences with it. I'm put you in C tier. Connecticut. I have spent a lot of time in Connecticut, and I don't hate it. I don't hate Connecticut. I just... not a big fan of Connecticut, but it's not that bad of a state. It's pretty small, right? So I'm going based off of like the ratio of good to bad in Connecticut, and I think it belongs in B tier. It's okay. I did all of my back to school shopping in Connecticut because that was where there was Kmart's still. That's probably gonna date me a little bit, but I would do all my back to school shopping in Connecticut, specifically in a Kmart, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Washington D.C. I love Washington D.C. a lot. It was where I had my honeymoon, which was very wonderful. I love that a lot. Also, it's our capital. I love Washington D.C. I really wanted to get stationed there, but I'm not going to hold it against them because that's a really hard duty station to get. So you're going to go in S tier just because I always want to stop in D.C. Granted, I know the traffic is horrific, but D.C. is really cool. And for the amount, like the ratio of good to bad in D.C., I feel like it's really high. They also have some neat museums there and just monuments and whatever, your choice. As an American, I feel like that deserves to be in S tier. Delaware. I don't know a single thing about Delaware. For a moment, I thought that was Baltimore, Baltimore was in Delaware, but that's not true. That's Maryland, and Delaware has a cool painting of George Washington going over the Delaware River. So for that, I'm putting you in B tier because that is a hard painting. Florida. Listen, I know people are gonna come at me and say, like, Florida does not deserve to be ranked high, but hear me out. Florida's pretty cool. Florida has some very unique forests, swamps. Believe it or not, swamps are pretty sick, okay? So I'm putting Florida in A tier. I like Florida a lot. I do. You know, I'm even gonna put it above California. I feel like Florida belongs in A tier, where I feel deep in my soul that it belongs in. Granted, it does not have seasons, that part blows, but Florida's in A tier. I just wish that it got a little bit cooler. Georgia. Now, I have a pretty big soft spot for Georgia. This was the first place that I was stationed in the military, specifically Fort Stewart. Fort Stewart, not great. Not great. Hinesville, also not great. However, Savannah, beautiful city. And also I've spent some amount of time at Fort Benning, now Fort Moore, jumping out of aeroplanes. So I'm gonna put you in A tier. I'm gonna put you in A tier because I've had some very good and bad experiences in Georgia, and I feel like that I can't hate all of it. The Walking Dead takes place in Georgia, and a lot of shows and movies are filmed there. So you're going in A tier. That's where you belong. I can't really think of anything that would put Georgia lower than A tier. Hawaii. Okay, this is gonna be probably one of my more controversial picks here. I'm putting Hawaii in F tier. And it's because of one thing that happened. When I was going to Korea, I had a layover, and it was in Hawaii. I was not allowed to leave the plane. So all I got to do was stare at a runway and part of the ocean, and that's just not okay. That's not okay. That's why you're going in F tier. I don't make the rules, but you're going in F tier. That's where you belong. That's where you, Hawaii, belong. Idaho, you got cool potatoes, D tier. Illinois, you have Chicago for the setting for Shameless, and I know someone from you, so I'm putting you in C. C for Chicago. What is this? Oh, it's Indiana. Yeah, haven't been there. Don't plan to go there. I will probably, if I have to go to Indiana, it's because I have to drive through it. That is a flyover state for sure. You're going in C tier, because I don't feel like it can't be that bad, right? Indiana can't be that bad. Iowa, you're just, I mean, you have Slipknot. B tier. Kansas. The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz, I think. Wizard of Oz and tornadoes. Tornadoes are scary. B tier. Kentucky. Now, I want to hate on Kentucky because it's Kentucky, but it's not that bad. And I don't feel like I know enough about it to make it any higher than D tier. Like, I can't think it's... I don't think it's going to be that good. Kentucky cannot be that good of a state. Louisiana, you're... I don't want to put you higher than Delaware. I want to put you higher than Iowa. Or I want to put you... But I'm not putting you higher than Connecticut. Okay, so Louisiana, I've gone to the only city that I think that you should go to. Louisiana, probably. New Orleans is neat. I got to see Theo Vaughn there. Cool experience. All in all, not a bad state. Also, my wife and I had Raising Cane's. Good chicken place. Maine, have not been there. It looks really cool. It looks really cool. But because I haven't been there, I'm just gonna put you above literally the only two things. Like, I don't know anything about them other, like, Alaska and Arizona. I don't know anything other than temperature. Okay, and all I know about Maine is that it's pretty. So I guess you could go Colorado. I think that makes sense there. Maryland, F tier. You have Baltimore, Maryland. That is actually Gotham. You can't justify having any other space than F. When I was driving through Maryland, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. I was a very scared 18-year-old, basically child. I was on my way to Fort Stewart, and I was sitting on the highway, dead still traffic. I was not moving, and suddenly there was a lot of people walking on the highway past my car. That was scary, and if I have to get gas, I will time it out so I don't have to go stop in Maryland. I don't want to. You don't really have to because it's pretty small. Strongly recommend avoiding Maryland. I think Logic is from there. Yeah, so if all you've got is Baltimore and Logic, and I think Crabs, you have a cool state flag. I'll give. So if, you know what, I'll put Maryland above Hawaii simply because you have a neat flag. Massachusetts, listen, F tier. Bad drivers. Very bad drivers. I grew up near Massachusetts, and that's okay. It's an alright state. I have not seen Boston, so I also can't say anything else about that, but I have interacted with a good number of your population, and it was every single time a miserable experience. So you're staying in F tier, and you're actually below Baltimore, so let that sink in for you. Michigan. I have a very good friend from there. And for that reason, I'm putting you in B tier. I can't say anything else about Michigan. M&M, so yeah, B tier. That's correct. Minnesota, same thing. It feels wrong because both of my closest friends are from there, and I feel like I'm ranking them. So they're just gonna sit there because that's the alphabetical order of things. Also, really cool. I have two of my closest friends are from the Midwest. That's neat. You're staying in B tier. You also have Prince, so I'll give you that. You have Prince. And Atmosphere, if you like that rapper. Mississippi, also easy F tier. Mississippi is one of the worst places to go, period. That's just, you shouldn't go to Mississippi ever. Ever. I went to Hattiesburg, and that felt, I don't understand, what are you supposed to do there? Mississippi is meant to be left. You shouldn't go. Every time that I've been to Mississippi is because I had to drive through it or against my will. F tier. Missouri, also F tier. I don't like Missouri. It's so bad. I went to basic training in Missouri, so I understand that's probably going to give me a bit of a negative connotation to the whole place. But also, St. Louis sucks. Not a great place. Your one thing worth seeing, like monument-wise, is a big old toenail. So you're going in F tier, and that's where you're going to stay. I cannot be convinced that Missouri... You know what I will say, though? Missouri is better than Mississippi. Missouri is 100% better than Mississippi. Montana, which in C tier. Nebraska. I think the Google headquarters is there, and They just got declared a monopoly less than a month ago, I think. So you're going in B tier. Nevada. Now, you're going in B tier because gambling have call it New Vegas setting. Granted, that's an entirely fictional place at that point, but that's pretty cool. So you have Las Vegas, New Vegas, and Criss Angel levitated above the Luxor. That's a pretty pivotal point in my childhood, so I'm putting you in B tier for that. New Hampshire. Don't know anything about you. You're going in C tier because I feel like I've been told that New Hampshire is like the Georgia of the Northeast. Now I have not been there. Can't confirm that. You're gonna stay in C tier. New Jersey. Easy F tier. Again, I don't want to go through New Jersey. Every time that I've been to New Jersey, it's because I have to. I can't go around you unless I want to go through Pennsylvania, and that's not ideal. You're going in F tier. And I'm not done talking badly about New Jersey here. The New Jersey Turnpike is expensive. There's nothing on it, and I had someone actually throw a brick at me while driving. So you're staying in F. Again, I can put you above Mississippi because you're better than Mississippi. New Mexico. You have aliens, I think, so you're going in C tier. I'll put you in high C tier. High C tier feels correct because I don't know. You got aliens and Breaking Bad, and that's good enough for me. Okay, we all, the 3 people that are going to watch this, and I am personally. New York is going in S tier, because not only is New York State the best, New York State is also where I'm from. I grew up there, not from the city. But the rest of the state would think that, and all the way up here. I'm not. And that's just the best part about New York, is it's everything that you could ever want in a state. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's the best state that there ever was, and is. Granted, I don't really like some of the boroughs, but that's a given. You win some, lose some. S tier. North Carolina. You're alright. The only thing I can think of about North Carolina is that you've driven on I-95 before. There is this thing called South of the Border, and it is a strange place to go. It is like Mexican themed, and that in the most respectful way, that's just what it's themed as. I tried to get gas there, had someone show up, knocking on my window, which scared the shit out of me and the wife. The only time that my dog didn't notice that someone was walking at South of the Border at one of the gas stations. Oh yeah, honestly, you're D tier. You're D tier. What else is there to do in North Carolina other than go to South of the Border, which isn't even in North Carolina. That's in South Carolina. North Dakota. I mean, you have a cool monument, but when there's 2 of you, you're going in D tier. Ohio. That's A tier. I think that's funny. I know it's an overplayed meme, and it's just a level of brain rot that I don't think I'll ever be at, but I just think it's funny. Oklahoma. I want to put you in F tier, but you're not as bad as all the other ones, so I'm just going to put you in, I'll put you above Kentucky, because Oklahoma has tomatoes I am deathly afraid of. You're going there. Oregon, I don't know. D tier. I feel like I would really like the environment in Oregon quite a bit. Same thing with the other one that's right there, Washington. So yeah, B tier. I feel like that's good enough. Pennsylvania. I'm putting you in A tier. A tier and above Ohio, because Pennsylvania has the first cavern that I ever went to. Really cool. Like me a cave. And it's alright. I mean, it's not a bad state. If I had to live somewhere else other than where I want to live, if I had to settle with Pennsylvania, I wouldn't be that mad about it. Rhode Island. B tier. Low end B tier. Because I wanted to put you in C, but I've been to you once. That's okay. I went to a beach there, actually, growing up. It was okay. My little brother got stung by a jellyfish. Cool. So I'm putting you in B tier. Because although that sucked, it was funny. South Carolina. I'm putting you... Where did I put North Carolina? I'm putting you above North Carolina. Has to be good. Better. You have South of the Border. South Dakota. Don't know what's there. Putting you in D tier. I feel like... Come on, man. At least North Dakota has a monument or something there. Build something cool and I'll come back to you. Tennessee. Okay. I'm putting Tennessee in A tier. Because I've driven through it a lot, and I really like Tennessee. However, I've had one of the worst experiences ever in Nashville. However, everywhere else in that state is pretty and very nice. Texas. So you might think that you belong up here in S tier, but you're going in F tier. I will give you high F tier. Nope, you're actually not that bad. I don't know, I don't want to go to you. I don't want to go. I had to stop in El Paso, again, as a layover. That was cool. I liked seeing desert, but that was it. And I don't know, maybe Secede. Utah, I know a lot of barbers and stuff that I know are from Utah, so I'm putting you in B tier. B for barber. Vermont. Bernie Sanders is kind of a cool old guy, so here. You're above New Hampshire. Yeah, that feels right. New Hampshire in C tier. That's correct. Virginia. Listen. I'm gonna put Virginia in S tier because of, again, one experience, so I feel like this is enough to sufficiently make this determination. Washington, yeah, where'd I put your brother here or sister? Judge. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put you. B tier's fine because that's a pretty good state. Okay, that's not that bad. We have Seattle, so you got our iCarly and I think Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, so, you know, 2 fictional places. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I mean, that's, what's wrong with Washington? West Virginia, I'm putting you in F tier. Okay, I'm putting you in F tier above Hawaii. Because you have a Fallout game, but it's objectively the worst one. It's not good. I'm not gonna put Fallout 76 high on any list of video games I will ever rank, because it's a bad game. Wisconsin. I know people from Wisconsin, you have cool cheese, so you're getting high C... You're getting high cheese tier. Wyoming. That place doesn't exist. D tier.